Hey guys, Dusty here. If you're a coffee guzzling type A high strung triathlete, then I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do to help yourself relax. Now, it's no secret that a lot of triathletes are just go, 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 go. And oftentimes we don't know how to relax and we don't put enough of a priority on recovery. So tip number 1 is something that I just did today, a few hours ago actually, and that was get a massage. So typically I've been able to maintain loose muscles through foam rolling, but I've neglected it a while, as I'm sure a lot of you have as well. And my legs just got to the point where I needed a good massage to get me back on track. And as a triathlete or runner, you'll want to get a deep tissue massage so they can really get in there deep and work out any of the knots that you might have. So most of the massage will probably be painful. If you're like me, I was squirming around on the bed like a fish out of water. But by the end, my muscles were super relaxed and I found myself leaving the massage feeling super loose and like I just had a few glasses of wine. Now the rest of the day, my massage therapist said I'm not allowed to train, so I'm going to listen to her. And massage is a fantastic recovery tool, not only physically, but mentally as well. Just being able to relax post-massage is fantastic and something that probably a lot of triathletes don't get to experience. All right, relaxation tip number 2 is a hot yin yoga class. So yin yoga is unlike all other forms of yoga in that it's a very slow-paced yoga class. It's a hot yoga class, so it's typically done in the mid-30s Celsius, mid-90 Fahrenheit range. And one of the big differences between yin yoga and all other forms of yoga is that you hold the poses for a really, really long time. So depending on the course, depending on the teacher, you can actually hold poses between 1 to 5 minutes. It can be pretty uncomfortable if that pose is difficult for you, but typically you want to relax into that pose. And at least all the yin yoga classes that I've been to, it's usually been in a dark environment. They just put candles on or turn out the lights, and it's super relaxing. And I can't even tell you how many yin yoga classes I've fallen asleep even before the classes started and at the end when you're laying in shavasana. I know a lot of people really struggle with yin yoga because it's hard for them to sit still, but if it's hard for you like that, then it's probably a really good thing for you to try out. All right, tip number 3 is something that I bet a lot of you haven't done, and I haven't actually done it myself for a few years since I moved from Alberta to BC, and that is going in an isolation tank or a flotation tank, a sensory deprivation tank, whatever you want to call it. And essentially it's just a tank of water that you lie in, except this tank is totally dark. There's no light inside. It's totally soundproof. The water is heated to skin temperature, and they put in hundreds or thousands of pounds of salt. I can't remember the amount, but it makes you totally buoyant. So this is a very, very weird feeling, and this is the only place that you can experience this. So you go in the tank, usually 60 to 90 minutes, and you float in the water. It's heated to skin temperature, so technically you can't feel the water. So it's a very unique experience in that you are just left alone floating in what seems like space, and you're just left with your thoughts. Your body can totally relax. And I first heard of a flotation tank on the Joe Rogan podcast. It must have been like 10 years ago. And ever since then, they've been growing in popularity. Unfortunately, there just isn't one around where I live. But there's been a lot of professional athletes in the last few years, including Stephen Curry from the NBA, who have started using flotation tanks. They say there are many, many benefits, of course, to floating, but I would say the biggest of them all is just that you get to relax and be left alone with your thoughts floating in a dark, soundless tank. Sounds kind of creepy. And that's it. Those are my 3 tips to help triathletes relax. And if your list is a little bit different than mine, why don't you comment down below so I know what you're doing. And like always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe for more everything running, triathlon, and nutrition related.